All right, everybody, welcome to the fifth edition, the new edition of Full Mount Podcast, where I, Brandon, the man with the plain music, is joined by Sean, the man of freestyle, virgin virtuosity.
Can we just get the elephant out of the room and say why does UFC still use that song as like an intro? And a lot of times they don't use it anymore, but that song's, I don't even know. I can't remember who it is. We looked it up, but it's horrible.
I feel like Face the Pain by whoever makes it is as worthwhile as like going to a SpaceJam.net for the movie Space Jam from 1996. That's still up, or NIN.net. By the way, great chat rooms. You should go if people still use Java.
Jesus, that was 2004? That seems like a song from 99 to me.
I feel like that was used at UFC 3 with the Super Fight Championship that eventually merged into the title belt. Next episode, we'll talk about the heavyweight title and rip off MMA on point. And just record theirs with our voiceover.
Just put it on there. I mean, that would work.
But this Saturday, you have UFC 27 plus 210. So UFC 237, Namajunas versus Andrade.
Yeah.
Battle for the strawweight championship occurring in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I think it is.
From Brazil.
This is a unique card, and obviously, if we want to preview the fights and talk about the folks involved, I think we should start with the two people at the top of the card.
Should we start with that? I mean, I guess
the two people. You know, the draws.
Not really.
Jessica Andrade and oh no, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. The real draw on the card: Beshko and Ahina Eldana.
Minotauro and Ryan Spann, that was going to be a good one.
Yeah, Minotauro is not going to fight tomorrow. Have you not heard?
I have not. That fight's going?
No, that fight is not going on because he retired 10 years ago. You're thinking about You're confusing Big Nog with Little Nog. His name's Minotauro Nogueira is Big Nog. So Little Nog, the 205er, is going to fight on the card against Ryan Spann, a Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series, man.
That's the only reason I was even worried about this card, because I've been watching the Contender Series. I like that.
Yeah.
I feel like a jackass now.
That's right. He's coming back, man. I mean, he's like the Brazil Sean Shelby, if that makes any sense. Like, he will set up some fights. He probably set this Ryan Spann fight up. And Ahene Eldana versus Beshko. And then BJ Violent and put my pin versus Clay Queso Guida.
Do we really think that does BJ Penn really have a chance in that fight?
No. Do you know the last time that BJ Penn won?
Probably been like 5 years ago, isn't it?
No. About around the time Obamacare was passed. It was 2010. And he has been at welterweight, lightweight, featherweight, back up to lightweight.
I gotta see this guy.
He was probably the first ever. He was the first ever dual champ. No, he was the second ever dual champion in the UFC when he became welterweight champ when he beat Matt Hughes with a random call up, and then immediately after winning the title, he vacates and says, "You know what? I'm done. I'm going to K1 because UFC's not paying me enough." And so one of his most magical fights from that is he fought Lyoto Machida in an open-weight contest when Lyoto Machida was like 226 pounds and BJ Penn was 191 pounds.
Can you?
I mean, he's insane.
What happened with Penn and Fitch?
Penn and Fish?
Fitch.
Well, John Fitch we know is a little Fitch. And he just recently lost to Roy McDonald in a BS majority draw, so he did not make it past quarterfinals there.
John Fitch won a majority against BJ
Yeah,
Penn.
but I mean that's when BJ Penn had, clearly went from roids to dad bod, I guess you could say.
Okay, what you were saying, like I ended up looking him up because.
Oh really? I didn't know. I couldn't see the screen there.
Yeah, well, he did beat Matt Hughes, November 2010. He lost to Fitch. He lost to Big Diaz, and then
Diaz, is it Diaz?
Then he lost to Rory.
Right.
Whatever. Then he lost to
Frankie Jaeger.
And then I can't see what Ricardo Long was from.
I assure you, they're both losses, or been canceled.
Then he came back.
Yeah.
No. He
had like the 3-year retirement. He came back and faced Jaeger Rodriguez.
And then lost to Dennis Seaver.
Well, split decision. I actually thought he won that one, but that's just
it was close. And then he got beat by Hall, and now he's fighting Clay Guida.
Yeah, which I feel like this is an up in competition because Ryan Hall, that was his first fight since 2016. I mean, he's like on the Nate Diaz track.
Who's this up and covered Clay Guida? I haven't heard of this.
Clay Guida is a man that has as much hair as strawweights have body fat. I mean, the man is rocking a big country-sized mullet and mane.
He's a good fighter, though. He always puts on the fight.
Sometimes he has a beard. I don't know if he'll have a beard.
I'm excited to see him fight.
But like
I'm really not so excited to see BJ Penn fight, but
yeah.
Could he turn it on and do something? Maybe.
Yeah. Cheese Guida knows what he's doing, but like his arms are like the Russian Hammer size, and he's not athletic, but he kind of knows what he's doing. So he's got that, what do they call it in football, the veteran moxie. And he's got like that dad bod after years of steroids and then letting him go like Vitor Belfort, but when you're 155, it doesn't look nearly as bad. See, there's a picture of him with the beard. Sometimes we don't have it. He's more a grappler than a striker, even though he got that random win, I guess, against Joe Lozon maybe last year.
Beat Oliveira.
Yeah, Oliveira. That's you're not.
His last loss was against Brian Ortega. I mean, that's
not a good loss. Brian Ortega's overrated.
That's a pretty good.
Brian Ortega's been broken, bro. He's broke.
He did lose to Tavares as well.
To Daenerys Targaryen?
No, Tavares.
Oh yeah, Daenerys' brother, the one that likes apparently coffee.
He also lost to Bermudez as well.
Dennis Bermudez, for those who are watching at home. By the way, this will be live streamed onto Twitch as we're speaking. And we're on the YouTube channel at The Full Mount. You can be sure to like and subscribe to the video. And be sure to like and subscribe to the Full Mount podcast that you're obviously listening to, because we'll eventually have enough downloads for me to get podcast analytics on Full Mount Podcast. Or you can look up Full Mount on SoundCloud. And
don't look it up on Pornhub, though, because you're not going to find us.
No, but you know what you can find on Pornhub? You can find Avengers Endgame.
Oh yeah,
on
a lot of places that do. They want to put stuff up. Like you can't put it on YouTube. You don't want to put it out on Torrents, but you can put it up there because somebody's gonna look for it. But then you can just send out links for it. Like, hey guys, Avengers Endgame on Pornhub, and then it shoots up to the top. And then when you go to Pornhub, there it is. Like, oh, what's the top movie? Like, I wanna touch myself to the top movie that everybody else is. And oh, it's Avengers Endgame. Wait a minute, I haven't seen that.
Well, I guess that's a different one than I thought it was. Rated PG-69, so it's 13.
All right. Prelims. They're not much.
Prelims.
They're not. I mean,
Little Long against Ryan Spann.
There's a couple okay
good
fights
fight.
in there.
Betch and BJ.
Betchko had.
Thiago Moises Alou versus Kurt Hullabaloo. And Rairi Naldana versus Betchko. Now, I'll tell you, the interesting thing about Ryan Spann, do you know what the interesting thing about him, what he makes me think of, is the genius behind the Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series. Because what has been the biggest problem with the UFC is when I'm on the Fight Pass prelims or the early prelims / the ESPN Plus prelims. I'm like, I really love like a good fight, but it's like I'm not really getting into any of these guys. But when I see Ryan Spann on, I'm like, holy shit! I remember that guy. He knocked a motherfucker out at Dana White. It's like, yeah, I know he can do it. Sugar Shane O'Malley knocked a motherfucker out. So I'm like, he can do some good shit, and I've seen him do some good shit. So, like, I'm excited for his fight, and even if he gets his ass beat, I'm still excited for his next fight because I know what he can do. And so I think
they need to get rid of the Ultimate Fighter and just put more stuff into, because the Ultimate Fighter back in the day was built on, we're going to train these guys are training, we're going to get them whatever, and then it turns into whatever. But people that are fighting nowadays, they're already being trained. Yep. So there's already tons of guys out there that are doing all that shit. So it's like, let's just have dudes go in and fight. Guys that are 6-6 or 6-0. One guy's 7-0. They never faced anybody that's good. We're gonna put them out there. We're gonna put them on TV, and then bam, Dana White's gonna give him a contract, and then you can bring up the UFC and see what they can do. Because you never know. You really never know. Like John Jones took the world by storm years ago. Like just. Nobody really knew who he was.
Youngest champ in UFC history.
He just kept coming up, just kept being good. He was one of those guys. And a lot of the people coming from the Contender Series have done decent, or they've at least proven themselves to be worthy of fights in the UFC. Even if they
Sugar Sean O'Malley.
He smokes a little weed. I mean, that's his problem.
And he's got a weed shirt from Reebok, even though it's technically illegal in some states.
I mean, that's the silly thing. But
and then you've got what's the wife beater's name who was in the co-main event last couple weeks? Greg Hardy. Yeah. I know more as the wife beater than his name.
That really sucks.
The most media savvy of all UFC fighters.
That really sucks for him. Sucks for his ex-wife or girlfriend or whatever, even more. But I mean, sometimes I don't want to say
he was found guilty.
I don't want to be that guy. But America's about redemption. Can we not give
shout out to not being the guy who beats his wife?
Can we not give a guy a second chance? Yes. Maybe now.
He's been in UFC after 3 fights though.
He is.
Let him go to Bellator.
He's an aggressive.
All the murderers go.
He's an aggressive guy. He's a fighter, obviously. Beating up on women, but
I'd like to have him in a heavyweight match against Rumble Johnson.
But didn't Rumble? It's the battle.
Again, there's a storyline there. There's a storyline. That's the reason.
Battle
of the beaters. Who's going to get justice by coming out in a Reebok wife beaters t-shirt? Wear like the old Jessica Andrade Reebok white top.
Yeah.
But have it with the muscle sleeve tees and make it out of cotton.
Battle of the white beater. But I mean, we don't know what's going on with Rumble, but
this is not his first go around.
Oh, has he been?
Or his second. Where's third? Where's fourth?
Really?
He had one like 2012. He had one like 09. There's like one 16 or something. So is it because
football's so much more popular than like MMA that Greg Hardy's just stood out?
That and his was pretty bad too. Well, and another reason is Greg Hardy was like back when Roger Goodell took over. Like he was like, oh my God, I got to make these black people like start behaving and start dressing right and properly, and wanted to be the morality police. And so Pac-Man Jones gets suspended 57 games, and then you have the New Orleans Saints headhunting Bounding Gates, and then you have the Ray Rice video and all that stuff. So he decided he's going to be the morality police, and it's the biggest sport in the nation. So when you declare that this is going to be our focus, and it's the biggest sport in the nation, when somebody does something, you're going to say, you know what? It's going to get a whole lot of attention. And at the time when Anthony Johnson was doing it, it's honestly, if you're in boxing or any kind of combat sports, don't you agree with me that they kind of get to trafficking a little bit more of the underbelly of the world?
Yeah.
Like,
so can we just go out on a limb and say that David Stern was the best commissioner in any sport ever? He
No,
just let
terrible.
everybody.
Paul Tagliabue's better.
He just let everybody get away with everything. That was when the NBA
No, he's
was
the one that instituted the stupid dress code.
That's when the NBA was the best.
And then they went all Nazi on him and suspended Ron Artest 75 games for punching a fan.
I mean that
who deserved it, by the way.
Probably should have happened. But yeah, he did.
He deserved it.
He did deserve it, but you can't do that.
Well,
He turned in Middle War Peace, but then he ended up elbowing. Oh my God!
That's called a good hard foul. There's
good hard foul. It was Harden. Yeah, it was Harden. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
which I know this isn't MMA related, but you know what Harden has done that's changed the game this year? Is Houston has always been about like shoot more threes than everybody because it's more efficient. They're the money ball thing. And so they have found this new thing that's more efficient. What's more efficient than a 3-point shot? A 2-point shot at the rim. You know what's more efficient than that? A free throw, if you can get to the line. Well, what would be the most efficient? If you could get 3 free throws on one shot. So they will do a thing where there's a rule that says if you step underneath the zone area of the shooter, that's a foul, because used to, like back in the mid-2000s, it's really dirty with Kobe. And like when he would shoot, there would be like the guy who is the defensive stalwart for San Antonio Spurs, Bruce Bowen, would run under his feet. And so since you had the right to be somewhere where you were standing, he would land on his feet and you could have like a torn ACL, sprained ankle. Is just really dangerous on the legs. So they called that a foul. So, and it would be anywhere where the legs of the shooter were, you couldn't go into that. So what they do, and what James Harden does, because he can do step back and shimmies, he will spread his legs out and go to one direction. So it's like he's doing almost the splits and covers that ground. And if your feet are under him, a lot of times they'll call that a foul.
on you, sir.
Yeah.
Since we've got the, and we're going to have to be poignant since the series is still going on and we're talking about 237, I want to shout out a YouTube channel called Thinking Basketball. And the video I'm thinking of is called Order versus Chaos, How the Warriors and Rockets Attack, with Jordan Spearber. He's a video analyst from I think New Mexico State basketball, but it's all about how the Rockets play basketball compared to how the Warriors play basketball, and it's pretty cool. It's like 10 minutes long, so if you guys get a chance, check that out. We're not sponsored by this guy or anything, but I watched a video a couple days ago, and I watched the game last night. Completely opened my eyes to what I was looking for, because the way the Warriors play basketball, I always just thought was kind of the way everybody played basketball, but no, it's
by
way
ESPN
super different. And then the way the Rockets play, but they're some of the most efficient teams in the league, and they're playing each other. I'm assuming this, unless somehow the Bucks can one guy beat the Warriors, because I just don't think that. I don't know. Anyway, this isn't a basketball podcast, so we're gonna just jump off that. But if you guys are in basketball, which we're all into sports here, I'm assuming.
And be sure to sign up to our sponsor, ESPN Plus, $4.99 a month. You can watch a UFC pay-per-view like UFC 237. By the way, in the new apps for ESPN Plus and the ESPN app, they now have, if you're a Plus subscriber, you now have a way where you can have one-click order the pay-per-view from the app. You don't have to go to espnplus.com/ppv.
Oh, Daddy.
Mm-hmm. Did you say, oh, Daddy?
I did.
Wow. Which I was going to say the other sponsor, but it's not a joke I think I want to make on the airwaves. I'll tell you later. If you all had seen my other podcast, you know that I've also been sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Oh,
and the Budweiser.
Yeah, these are those.
Always a good decision. But don't drink and drive. If you're drunk, don't drive. You should do the watermelon crawl. And join the watermelon crawl Crips or the WCC.
Yeah, there's
It's a local gang who's getting into MMA, and you know who the watermelon. And we'll be right back after this commercial break. Alrighty, everybody, welcome back here after that commercial break where you had to face the pain and you came in and realized we were out of time. Now, we were starting to cover finally, after about 20-30 minutes, the main card of UFC 27 plus 210. Or for you math non-aficionados, it's UFC 237. Because sometimes I can't say the right numbers because I got some AD. We're gonna start by covering the main fight of the night that everybody has just asked about. Why is that a fight? Now you might be thinking Jared Cannoneer versus Anderson Silva, but I've got a different one for you. Jose Aldo's friend, Jose Aldo. Versus Alexander Volkanovski. At least I can catch myself mid-fuck up and say, you know, Jose Aldo's friend Jose Aldo. You know, or maybe that's his evil twin's name.
Yeah, that's his awesome power.
Yeah. But Alexander Volkanovski, who, by the way, used to be like a 220-pound Australian rugby player. I mean, he's a legitimately fat man. He's not like... He's a stocky featherweight. Like, he's not tall, nor is he long. 11 knockouts, 3 wins by submission. Yeah, so the big thing, and before we get into the fight itself, I want you to throw this out here. This is why I think this is the strangest fight on the card. Alexander Volkanovski is a guy on the rise. He's a contender for years to come. Max Holloway is still the champ. And don't you, if you're going to be a good matchmaker, don't you want to build this Volkanovski guy up? He came into the top 10, beat a guy, shot his cum, and he got Chad Mendes, and then he came all over Chad Mendes' face with a hammer fist to get him knocked out. Second round, I believe. And then you have him fight Jose Aldo, who's knocked out 2 killers, and Jeremy Stevens, and that other guy in his last 2 couple fights, Renato Moicano, who is another up-and-comer who you might have wanted to give a title shot to. What if Jose Aldo wins?
Just to say,
is he number 1 contender again?
Let's just throw it out here real fast before anybody bitches or complains later. We're going off the cuff. We've got Google up, but
it's all in our head, bro. It's all in our head.
It takes a bit to like even Google anything, so we're just saying stuff that we remember. So yes, if we get something wrong, it's just barely wrong. We watch a lot of MMA. We've been watching a lot of MMA for a long time.
With full amount, if you're coming here for like 100% accuracy, read a newspaper.
Yes.
Hire a copy editor and do your own damn podcast.
Yeah. You can go to Wikipedia and figure out all these things. But go back on your thing there. Volkanovski, truthfully, I didn't know who he was until just recently when this fight was booked. And I looked at it and I was like, that's a pretty good fight. It's actually a bad fight for Jose.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't wonder. Like,
if he wins, does he get the title shot?
God, can he three fights against Max Holloway?
Yeah. Is it enough 3 knockouts in a row to get a title shot after he got his ass handed to him twice?
Where's Ortega rated, right?
Well, he just got all of his bones healed after his ass whooping in December.
Yeah, he got his ass beat real bad.
I don't think Jose. If you lose to the champ twice, and it's not even close.
Yeah,
you get knocked out, and Max Holloway says, "I'm going to knock him out this round," and he does. The fight ends in the round that he calls it.
But this is the thing. You kill a lot of sure doggers, like, because they might be people that might want to listen.
Fuck sure dog. I'm raw dog all the way. We'd rather raw dog than
sure dog. You get a lot of sure
dog.
doggers talking about,
Actually, raw dog, by the way.
Jose Aldo being the greatest featherweight of all time.
Oh, he's not in the top 3.
I mean, he's been burnt twice by Max Holloway. Now, granted, Max Holloway went up in weight, fought a guy that was fighting at the same weight as him, but was having trouble making it. And he just didn't have the power, and you could tell. I mean, that was a good fight, but you could tell who had the power and who didn't. Max can go all day, but Max doesn't have the power to fight. Max doesn't have the power to fight at 155. He could get that, but he doesn't. So that's neither here nor there, because that's not that fight. This fight is Jose Aldo, and Jose Aldo got walked down by Max Holloway, who is a volume guy. But he has enough power to put volume on a 145er and then slowly put him out. And that's what he did twice, right? Yeah. If Jose Aldo wins this fight again, where does he go? Who does he fight? I mean, I keep hearing
Ryan Ortega.
I keep hearing Jose wants to retire, but I mean, he's won what, 3 fights in a row?
2,
and he's looked damn good doing it.
Yeah, he's still got a chin. It's
and
not
he's
quite what he used to be.
He's doing a little bit different shit. Like when he fought both times he fought Max, he never threw kicks. He didn't throw kicks, and that's his game. It's like Max isn't a takedown machine. That's not what he does.
No.
So what was he doing?
If he grabs a hold of your neck, he will bite it like he's a vampire.
Like Mike Tyson on fucking Holyfield's ear, dude.
Yeah. I just ate his ear because it was tasty, Did I make Mike Tyson into GSP there for a second?
I think you did. I think Mike Tyson turned into GSP.
Suffering succotash? Are you serious? I'm so serious right now. And I'm being so serial. That's me trying to do Mike Tyson. But he's, you remember Big Gay Al from South Park?
Yeah.
He slowly devolves into that. Because I'm not very good with a lisp. Seriously, guys. And eventually becomes suffering succotash cat. But if Jose Aldo wins, he's not getting the title shot. But Volkanovski has got some power, but does he have enough speed to counter the quick power shots of Jose Aldo when Jose Aldo inevitably comes in and tries to go for the kill?
I don't know. I'm actually not that I don't like Jose Aldo, because Jose Aldo got rattled by McGregor way back when, but it was like a year-long time where McGregor was just talking shit to him, right? Just a year of McGregor talking shit because he had his injury, so McGregor was talking shit for like 6 months. He fights Mendez, and then there's like another 6 months of him just talking shit about Jose, calling him Jose and shit. And then he comes in and do something crazy, and he gets slept. He gets slept.
By the way, can you name every UFC featherweight champion ever?
No. Aldo, Conor McGregor, Max Holloway?
Yep.
Yeah.
So by default, Jose Aldo has to be in the top 3 all time.
Yeah, he had it for such a long time too, but we're gonna go a little.
Is he a better featherweight all time?
We're gonna go a little off the rail here and say that this fucking. Sometimes the Brazilians just don't fight. Somehow they keep getting hurt, but it's been a lot less since
USADA's
come around.
But have you noticed the changes in a lot of physiques? Post USADA?
One of the biggest physiques changes I've noticed, other than like TRT type guys. Chris Weidman. Weidman's physiques.
The whole middleweight division.
A lot of that changed. A lot of that has changed.
I'm going to throw out there Luke Rockhold too. I don't care. Sue me.
I mean, true.
Luke Rockhold, you pop steroids.
He hasn't done much since. God,
it's not like the greatest middleweight of all time is to now pop twice for steroids. But you know what? I don't care about him because he broke his leg and he's allowed to. And I like him and I don't like Chris Weidman.
He's allowed to get that recovery steroid.
Yeah.
Like, you get that recovery steroid.
Yeah. I mean, he also did it like 2 years after he came back, too.
Yeah, but that was something, that wasn't like something that, listen, there's egregious steroid use, and then there's...
That's an egregious one.
Truthfully, the only egregious I've ever seen is Dillashaw. His is the worst so far. He's the first. There might be more that I can think of, but this is the first champ that's been busted for blood doping. And, like, I can't think of anything else. Like, a lot of the other ones are getting busted for stuff that's, like, could be in supplements.
Yeah.
Even John, but granted, John's smart. John is fucking smart, and John's my favorite fighter. So I'm always gonna go on the fucking knife for John. Like, I'm gonna go down and just, like, I will kill myself for John Jones. He's always had an excuse. The first time was dick pills, and then supposedly they didn't find something. This next time, they probably maybe didn't, and maybe he's, like, ratted on a few people. We don't know. But, and now he's got, you know, the pulse and picograms, but whatever. None of that matters. Josie Olo, I love you. Hope you lose. Just because Alexander is a new up-and-comer. I think he's like 30, so he's not that new. Yeah. But I'm hoping that there's a
lovely guest that we want to have come up here. 2 stars, Martin Lawrence and Dave Chappelle, who show exactly how the MMA audience views steroids in combat sports.
Truthfully, we don't give a fuck.
And here's exactly what it is. This is why there's a difference between Anderson and TJ Dillashaw. And that is exactly what we like about steroids. It's, look, I'm going to take the gun, but you can't see you, you got to let me take it from you. In other words, so when you do something open and obvious and as bad as shady as EPO, we don't like it. But if you give us a little dog and pony show, you get caught with USADA, and like there's some supplements that may be tainted. It's okay, we get it. It's just part of the game, baby. It's part of the hustle.
Listen. If you're gonna blood dope, you gotta figure out a way. You gotta figure out a way to like somehow mask it. Like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna like? I was taking creatine and somehow got caught blood. You can't do that. But if
I slipped and fell in a needle with electropropatine in my ass.
Like I don't take roids. We need to talk to down the road to figure out about some of that stuff.
That's a metaphor, by the way. Modern admission of guilt.
That's the thing. Like it's
from down the road is in the future.
yeah. So we're trying to figure that out. Anyway,
Let's talk to John Jones.
Who do we got moving?
I got Jose Aldo by first round knockout about 3 minutes and 47 seconds into the very first round.
That is fucking.
He's going to hit him. He's going to go down with a liver shot and then finish with ground and pound.
He's working the body. Okay, now let's start at the beginning. We're going to go with is that Cowboy?
No, you're thinking of Alex Oliveira.
Oh, no, Alex Oliveira isn't.
Yeah, he's Cowboy. Cowboy Alex Oliveira.
Oh, this phrase is Ronaldo.
Which I understand why you're confusing with Alex Oliveira because they're both Brazilian.
They look similar. This picture, they look similar. I wasn't looking at his name so much.
Yeah, it's mostly because they both flip between welterweight and 155, and they both suspiciously look like they'd taken steroids for a while. But Francisco Trinaldo is just a killer. It's just got some power. Diego Ferreira, I feel like I don't know that much about him, but I know he's pretty decent, but I don't think he has as much power. And this is his chance to get into the top 15. So I feel like he's going to be more hungry because Trinaldo has done this for a while. And this is going to be built up, not a contender or an up-and-comer, but the next generation up-and-comer. So he's like 3 matches away from the title. He has 3 impressive finishes after this fight. So I am picking Diego Ferreira because he's got the juice, he's got the will, he's got the want, he's got the desire. Francisco Trinaldo, number 11, number 14 in the UFC rankings. It's like, Diego Ferreira's coming up, man. Francisco Trinaldo, which is not his name, it's Francisco Trinaldo, is being left behind. Submission, 3rd round, Diego Ferreira.
I'm kind of with you.
Guillotine choke.
I think Ferreira's going to win, but I think it'll be just a unanimous decision.
29-28, 30-27.
29-28.
Yeah.
We got Thiago Alves, and then
Thiago Alves.
I can't say this guy.
Oh, you can say that word. Loriano Staropoli.
Yeah.
He's Italian. You can never pronounce Italians because you're racist.
He's 8-1. Shit. Yeah.
But doesn't that picture Thiago Alves make him look like the Russian Hammer, Artem Lobov?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
because his arms are just as small.
He already wins.
Yeah.
Russian. Okay.
The Brazilian Russian Hammer, Thiago Alves, buddy. That's analysis you can't get anywhere else.
Thiago Alves, you've already won the fight because you look in that picture sort of like the Russian Hammer, and
exactly.
He is
going # full mount. Subscribe to ESPN Plus today.
Skipping fight. This right here to me is a huge fight for one guy. The other guy, he's just making money. He's already the 185 goat.
Is he though? Is he?
Who's better?
Israel Adesanya. They just beat him last time. It's now the champ.
Yeah, but they were just playing.
That's a dominant victory.
That was a play fight.
That should have been a 30-24 victory.
That was a play fight. Jared Cannoneer, ex-heavyweight.
Yep. How about that?
Fighting Anderson Silva.
From Alaska. You know what his nickname is? Killer Gorilla. Killer Gorilla.
That's a good name. As much as I love Anderson Silva, as much as I fucking love this man as a fighter, second favorite fighter behind John Jones. I've had those things for like 7 years, and they still look pretty good. Talking about shoes, he's looking at some sneaks I got. Jared Cannoneer, I am actually rooting for him to win this fight. Just because I think Anderson, like, he just keeps getting these fights of, like, he needs to give me an Anderson Silva fight like a non-ranked guy, so I can just see.
He's never gonna fight a non-ranked guy. He draws too much people. They got to put him in the co-main events.
But he could. Like,
he just headlined the pay-per-view 90 days ago.
Would you not watch Anderson Silva fight anybody?
I would not watch him to fight my 8-year-old niece.
I wouldn't want that either. But I'm just saying.
I mean, I would join in and fight him.
If you were to watch him fight anybody in the UFC, you would watch him. So stop putting him against the guy like Jared Cannoneer. Like I'm hoping
against a guy who's never fought at middleweight.
This is my problem. This is my problem. Oh God.
Catch weight 175. He says no.
I don't. Can Anderson make that?
He said he could make it down to 173.
Jesus, I would fucking kill for that fight. That would be a fucking killer fight. Anderson Silva would work him over.
Conor McGregor would smash phones for that fight.
You know he'd work him over, because Anderson Silva could make 205 easy. And then Conor was complaining, sitting there smacking his belly to make, what was it, 165?
170.
170? I had to eat so much. It's okay, well, you got an extra...
Imagine what happens when I'm eating steaks instead of salads.
Yeah, and then, dude, Anderson is one of the GOAT strikers in UFC. He might not have the power and pop he used to have. And his problem was, his head movement. And if you watched, I think it was maybe the first or second episode of The Embedded, it showed him sparring, he was getting tagged and he was doing the whole... That's sort of his thing. He's okay with getting punched in the face, but now when he's getting punched back in the day...
He rolls with the punches, just like they do in boxing.
Back in the day, he could take it. And he could take one good shot and then go with it. And now Israel did it to him. He gets popped, sort of stumbles down, and then shit.
He's like, hey, buddy, come here and grapple with me.
Your brain's just a little bit mushed for just a second. You're like, oh shit, you gotta get back up. And then this guy's on top of you. And Cannoneer used to fight a heavyweight. I'm sure he pulled some of that fucking power down. Obviously, we seen him.
Yeah. I saw the embedded. Dude, I don't know how you're gonna make 185 this weekend. Like me trying to cut to 265. Because I'm about 200. Well, actually, I can make that. I'm about 270 without clothes on.
You can make it.
I've lost 5 pounds of all that weight again.
You can make it. I mean, what is today?
I added a few pounds, but I've worked out the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's Thursday. You can do it.
By tomorrow morning? Hell yeah. I should be running all night long. I mean, I might be more walking and in the sauna and stuff, but all night long. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. That's right, I can sing that one song. Bradley Cooper, sponsor of the Full Mount Podcast.
I don't know what that is.
He's a Patreon supporter. Bradley Cooper. He's the actor.
I know he is. I know what you're trying to talk about in the movie. I haven't seen it. That's what the
maybe it's time that you do.
I mean, I like Lady Gaga in certain fashions.
I don't like when she cries.
I like it when she's
wearing meat dresses. Didn't
meat dresses? Yeah, sure. Especially when she does the Dollar Antwood videos where she's running around with meat dresses and it's not her, but
it's like a body double or whatever.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Dollar Antwood's a better version.
So Jared Cannoneer is going to smoke Anderson Silva.
Do you think so? Really?
Second round submission. Not submission. I'm not talking about second round knockout.
As much as I want to say it, I think you're right. I think Anderson will.
Because he's going for a takedown and he's going to get hit with an uppercut.
Anderson's he's a timing fighter. He's going to spend a lot of time trying to get his time. He'll pop his shots, and then in the second round, he's going to get a little egregious and try to throw some shit, and he's going to get caught. It's not going to be a knockout, but I think it'll be a TKO. He'll get hit, clip down.
Anderson's going to try to wrestle too much.
Whatever.
He's normally a counter striker.
That's the thing. Being a counter striker, you can't be a 41-year-old counter striker.
Yeah.
That's it. You can't do it.
What's the last boring fight that Anderson Silva's been in?
I mean, it was the last one I could think of was the 5-round war that he went on with the guy who never lost. No.
5-round war with the guy who's never lost.
Yeah, he still hasn't lost. Anderson beat him, but he's never lost. Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen's never lost.
except to the three greatest people of all time, Fedor, John Jones, and Silva. Well, three of the top 20.
I mean, it was a boring fucking fight because Anderson couldn't do anything, and then all of a sudden, that fifth round, Anderson chokes him out. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, triangle from.
It's so stupid. And then they do a rematch, and Anderson knees him in the chest, and it was just over. It was so anticlimactic.
Well, that's when he was coming down from the roids.
Probably.
And that's not speculation. Chael Sonnen admitted to doing about every roid there was.
Oh, yeah, I mean, sure, why wouldn't he? I mean...
Because he retired when he got a 2-year suspension, and he came back and signed with Bellator. Because you know who he's beat since he's came back? Rampage Jackson, Vanderlei Silva. If this were 2001, he'd be great. And did he beat Shogun Rua one time?
That I won't be able to tell you. You'll have to.
That's like his best fight victory, you know? Because I think that Chael Sonnen was not the most difficult opponent Anderson Silva has ever had. The most difficult opponent, obviously, is really roided Chris Weidman, because he got one broken leg and one TKO out of it.
Do we?
Both losses, by the way. He's only beaten Derek Brunson since the leg break.
Obviously.
Well, he beat Nick Diaz too, but still, that was overturned.
Yeah,
but that's 2 victories in 4 years.
Yeah, Nick Diaz fucking laid down the camera.
And I think IMHO that he should have knocked out Michael Bisping. But
I'm on the.
You're not supposed to be saved by the belt.
I'm on the side that Michael Bisping should also. But anyway, let's just go ahead because we've done Jared Cannoneer, Jose Aldo, Thiago Alves, and Ronaldo. We're gonna go ahead and go with the.
Is there anybody else left on the main card? Did we do everybody?
That's it.
I think we did everybody. All right, guys.
Now
that's it.
Rose don't throw a fucking thing through my bus window. Norman Eunice and Jessica. I'm just gonna plod forward and beat the hell out of you and Doc.
Plod forward. She's a little better than that. I mean, she'll get you in the clinch and grasp range.
She's a plodder, dude. That's what she does.
She took down Claudia Gadelha a bunch and beat shit out of her on the ground pound.
She's a plod forward. Okay, maybe I should have not changed. I should have said plod forward. Maybe I should have said forward fire. She's gonna push. It's right down there. She pushes the action. The way you won, I won against her was just picking her apart from like moving back and just like having superior strike. Now Rose, we've seen, has superior boxing to.
That's not all though. She's got superior movement.
That's the thing. Movement, boxing.
And Jacek is good, but she was better.
What I'm talking about is boxing. Again, Jacek's probably a better striker, but a better striker from moving and like what she does. Muay Thai. Muay Thai is not a full. Like she's going from crazy different directions. Boxing is a more centered thing, and she's definitely the best boxer in women's MMA from what I've seen, and she's getting better.
That's Pat. I think a lot of that has to be she got with Jessica Andrade. Or no, Jessica Andrade's opponent's fiance, Pat Barry.
Stop.
You gotta let me finish my thought, man.
Pat Barry's
so I can correct myself.
The worst, man.
But I gotta prepare to have your mind blown because I got a few stats to lay down for you. When we're talking about movement and keeping distance of Rose's strength, Jessica Andrade is 5'2" with a 62-inch reach, and then Thug Rose is 5'5" with a 65-inch reach. Now, for a couple people, that's a huge reach and height advantage.
It's gonna be tough.
That's like Johnny Walker versus Daniel Cormier levels right there. Which, by the way, you know who has roughly a close reach to that, only a few inches higher, despite fighting at heavyweight at some point? Ken Shamrock. Yep.
Huh.
His arms are 60-something inches.
Fighting heavyweight?
Yeah.
That's just wrestling.
He's heavyweight at the beginning, bro.
That's just regular. That's just wrestler shit. Like, yeah. I mean, but the thing is,
Wrestlers just like cut their arms off so they can like T-Rex the shit out of everybody.
The thing is like, it's one of the reasons I don't even want to do BJJ is because I've got like my reach is terrible, and I'm short as well. So it's like wrestling is a lot easier for somebody my size and my reach because you don't have to have. All you gotta do is be able to get like a single leg or get around. But with like BJJ, you've got to like be able to manipulate and just you got to be able to wrap around and stuff like that, and you just can't. If you don't have long limbs, you just can't do that.
That's why they fight in lighter weight classes, so their relative normal length.
Dude, I'd have to fight at 125.
You can make that, dude. You were 130s in high school.
I was 130s in high school, but I'm a lot more than that now. But anyway,
Yeah, you're like 125.
Jessica Andrade, Rose Namajunas.
Yeah, Rose Namajunas.
What do you think?
Physical advantages. Let's just throw it out there. That Jessica Andrade is power.
Power advantage. Jessica Andrade
Yes.
has power.
Because in the sense that she has power.
She has power. But I mean, we seen what Rose did to Joanna. Like she kind of.
You got a bad weight cut, Rose will knock you on your ass.
She popped her down.
And then she'll get up on top of you and lay that pound.
I mean,
take you ground and pound, son.
I'm not a Rose Namajunas fan, so I'm actually rooting against her. I'm going to root against her on this. But if she wins, it's going to be a good fight because what she's going to have to do is do the same thing that Joanna did. Is just pepper her ass constantly and just keep. She's going to keep like. Jessica Andrade is not going to stop. She's like a goddamn T-1000. She's going to keep coming for you, right? So you got to just keep hitting it.
You have to come with her if you want to be knocked out.
And then I'm going to put some video gaming shit in there. You're going to have to kite her. You're going to have to hit her and bring her somewhere else. And just to keep, you're going to hit her this way and then to bring her this way. And then you guys are just going to keep circling around. And then sooner or later, from what I've seen of her striking, it's going to be awesome. So the thing is with Rose is she's a good striker. She's pretty decent on the ground. I mean, we can't ever say anything about
good at measuring and keeping her distance with kicks.
because it's Paige Van Zandt. She's super,
slow gauge.
She's super pretty. Probably one of the best looking women in the MMA.
Right in the grappling department.
I mean, she's like top 3 or 4 best looking MMA women, I think. I mean, we can be misogynists for a minute. Like, we're boys. We talk about good looking MMA women.
Trying to think. She's probably top 100 in the UFC.
Top 1, good looking women. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, like, Luke Rockhold's better looking than her.
I mean,
I sleep with Luke Rockhold before I sleep with her.
I mean,
he's a Ralph Lauren model. I'd be sleeping my way to the top.
What about
be CEO in a month?
What about that girl? You know what I'm talking about? That Aussie.
Dan Hooker.
Listen, maybe
I sleep with Dan Hooker too.
Maybe they'll pick it up on their podcast. Aussie Fancy. I Clementary all day long. All day long. And I'd throw coconuts at Fancy. Fuck that shit. I want that.
Here's your one chance, Fancy. Don't let me down.
I would be like, here's your one chance, Fancy. Get the fuck out of the room.
Here's your one chance, Fancy. Just go on down.
There's something that. Anyway, we're not talking about that.
For what?
We're not talking about. We are talking about.
Reeve McIntyre for you, baby.
We are talking about.
Let's go.
I'm talking about cute MMA women. I'm going to go back to the.
I'm talking about cute MMA men.
I mean,
that way we can objectify people. It's not sexist.
It's Luke Rockhold, best looking guy in MMA.
Oh, best looking guy in MMA?
Yeah, it's Luke Rockhold. His hairline kind of sucks, sure, but whatever. Like
TRT Belfort. He was the danger boy, man. He had the mohawk thing going on, man. Who doesn't like a faux hawk on a roided out man? I know you're a bear type. You like Big Country.
No.
Big Country's good looking.
I just told you who the guy was. It's Luke Rockhold. He's the best looking one.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think
It's really hard, dude.
who would be up
Dude,
there.
he had
Skyscraper.
no. He looks like he looks,
ugly,
he looks
man.
like he looks like a guy that
He's
plays.
so bad.
He looks like me, except for 2 foot taller. and
And a heart condition.
yeah, no, I look at it.
It's so mean.
He's ugly. I'm ugly. I don't want. No, I wouldn't. I don't want that guy to be here.
Oh, well, and Ngannou, I mean.
Francis.
But that's just because most people jack, so they like that.
Let's do this. Fuck it.
Let's see where you
this
guys
is what we're gonna
feel.
do. No, this is what we're gonna do. I know we got this championship fight we're talking about, but come on.
Rose is going to
Listen,
win, let's just be
We
honest.
already know where it's going to go, and it's women's MMA. A lot of people don't give a shit about it.
Oh, I love
so
it.
what we're going to do is we're going to talk about best looking people in weight divisions. What about we're gonna save the women's division for last. We're gonna start at men's.
Teasing the audience.
135 men's.
We'll start out with a little cock tease, though. 135. And now, do we want to do just current UFC fighters
Yeah, we gotta
or
do
all
something.
time?
We gotta do something because I'm not that versed. I'm versed, but not that versed. I
Okay.
can't remember what they look like. But
Well, in the top.
mine's gonna be because I like his bouncing.
I was going to
hair.
think Cody Hyman.
I was gonna say I like his bouncing
Statement.
hair. As I like. I think Henry Cejudo is kind of a cute boy.
Yeah. And he's got the gold and he wears the jacket.
Sure.
So he's got a fashion sense. Even though his arms are a little short. I want to go Aljamain Sterling. Because his fashion,
That's
like
good look.
the chain.
Dude,
And then he's got a little Adesanya style.
Aljamain's my boy. That's it.
Here we go. There we go. See, we agree.
I forgot
He's
he
the
was
best
in
looking
that
man.
division. For some reason, I thought
Yeah.
he was at 145.
If I was going to go on a 135er,
Okay.
I'd take him to Pound Town.
At 145, I was going to say Brian Ortega, but then
Yeah, me too.
But then you start
It's
talking
the hair.
about you go start talking about fashion. I'm like, I want to go with Max Holloway because that dude is.
Yeah,
fucking,
but the hairline though, bro.
it's. I want.
I don't know where it is. I don't know if he's balding or gaining hair. It's so weird.
I'll go with
It's like in the shape of a treasure map.
Ortega's got great hair. He looks good. He dresses well. I'm gonna go with Brian Ortega.
But what if you want a bad boy? Well, I mean,
I go with Holloway because Holloway.
is it the hair? It's the hair? You think it's the hair? For Ortega, is it the hair that does it?
Yeah, it is. And he looks young and he can grow a good beard. He looks decent.
It's solid.
He's one like
trap.
if my daughter was to bring him home, I would be like, you didn't look
What
that
about Yair Rodriguez?
If he was to look the way he looked when he fought BJ Penn, then I'd be like, yeah, high five, daughter. You did a good job. You brought a good
No,
guy
I would
home.
agree with you on that. I could see that. I mean, you can't see this, but that's some model looks right there. Let there be no doubt.
Yeah, he's good looking.
He's a strong. We can agree that he's a strong contender for number 2 in the division.
He's close. He's really.
He's the
close.
Frankie Edgar. Speaking of who's not on that list, Frankie Edgar.
So, where we at with that? Where we at with that?
Oh God.
I do truthfully. I think I'm looking at
That's.
He's a.
We gotta discount the ears though, right? Because like,
yeah, like you gotta figure
know,
out those.
yeah, because we can't like, or otherwise we might as well just cut a couple.
I could say Connor, but I don't even know where Connor is.
No, he's not good looking. Without the beard, he's nothing. He's
It's true.
garbage.
Yeah, he looks
like
he
so
looks kind of not great with.
bad.
He looks like a.
I'm alright. I mean, I could see Dustin Poirier being up there. I don't think we can put Max, even though he just fought lightweight. You still got to keep him featherweight, right?
He's a featherweight guy.
Yeah,
He gotta
'cause
be, so-
you got to go by like what their most current, consistent weight
sure.
class is.
For sure.
So yeah, we definitely can't consider it him. And you would consider Conor, even though he fought mostly at featherweight, you would probably
This is his.
put him in there. No?
Yeah, this is where he's at. He's not going to come back to 145. Max is going to go back to 145.
Now, can we consider former UFC fighters in this that are still fighting
Yeah.
at that weight class? Well,
How about if you fought at 145?
Like if I threw out Eddie Alvarez for 155.
But he looks a little older. Look at him. This my whole thing is going to be, if my daughter brings him home, how am I going to deal with that? So a lot of my choices are going to be a little more. He needs to look a little more nice. And just to point you, it looks
Paul
like
Felder.
God damn it, you won. That's it. Paul fucking Felder.
The Irish Dragon.
The Irish Dragon. He comes by. It looks awesome. He's a nice guy.
Super secret contender.
And a super.
Edson.
And he's a great fucking fighter.
Yeah.
Edson Barbosa too. And Edson Barbosa's a super nice guy.
Kevin Lee.
I kind of like Kevin Lee.
In the right outfit, yes.
Listen,
in the right outfit, yes.
155 is a monster division. There's so many contenders in the 155 division for fighting and for fucking.
Oh God,
shit.
I'm high. All right, welterweight division. Who you got? Who do you have?
The Red King.
The Red King?
The Red King.
Rory?
Rory.
Ugh, no. I am.
I mean, you
got to disagree with you on that one,
You
sir.
can talk me into it.
Respectfully,
that's the first
of
one
course.
to throw out. Who?
I mean, I'm we've been talking about like some pretty jacked dudes, but I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I want
to Costa, are you?
No, he's middleweight.
Oh,
but we know who the winner at middleweight is. But I want one of these guys I want to fuck. I want one to be a little teddy bear. I'm going to go Ben Askren. Dad bod, and he's got the curly, funny hair.
Yeah, you can run. I guess you could.
You can run his hands through your hair. After your comes come on there, it'll be all sticky and it'll be hair gel.
Truthfully, before I said that, I was thinking Ben Askren, so we're good. Let's just go up.
185. All right, on 180. Oh God, this is tougher than I thought.
I've already got it.
Who?
It's fucking what's his face?
Let's go 1, 2, 3, and then say the name,
Hold on.
and then we
I
say.
gotta think his name. I'm bad at it right now. Give me a second.
Yeah. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll say the name. And so, for instance, like if someone were, looking at the top.
Got it. All right, let's go.
Okay, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, then name. All ready? 1, 2, 3. Luke Rockhold. I was only saying you because I thought you were going to go with Paulo Costa.
No, it's Luke Rockhold.
But I mean, we could move him up to 205, but he's not fought there yet, so it's kind of.
He hasn't yet. And I was thinking, truthfully, I think Gustafsson almost might.
No, hell
it's
no.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be
Gustafsson. Like I get like the Swedish cheese thing. Like I get the blonde hair, But the man without a beard, he's just.
To me, jump up to 205.
Oh, it's pretty easy, bro. It's pretty easy. It's damn easy. It's Johnny Walker.
You think so?
Yeah, Johnny Walker's a good-looking man. 6 feet 6 tall, 205 pounds. Oh, Jimmy Manuwa. There we go, Jimmy Manuwa. Who says no to that? It's a bulk bear right there.
He's pretty bulky. I was thinking John Jones just because he's my favorite fighter, but
I could do that. I could imagine.
I think
John
205 is is sort of a you could. I mean, look at Daniel Cormier at 205.
He's not bad.
He looks.
That's a huggable bear right there.
I just want to hug him.
It's a huggable bear. It's a teddy bear.
All right, we're gonna say 205 is a kind of a. There's a lot of people. Let's go to.
It's a division in limbo. It used to have a lot of great people, and then he got busted for Roy's. Now he's got up and comers. What they've been selling the last 4 years of the division.
Where are we at on heavyweight? What do we think?
Who argues with Ngannou? Like who's going to say no to Ngannou? Like, have any of the new heavyweights caught our attention?
I'm going to say it's going to be.
Or you want that fat
route?
Alistar?
It's Alistar route. I think he's the best looking.
Wait. Current Alistair Overeem? Post USADA Overeem?
It's
or Ubereem?
It's Ubereem's the best, like one of the best looking things you could ever see. That dude was. So jacked.
I mean, but
He's still pretty jacked.
Derek Lewis?
No. I love Derek Lewis, but no.
Stipe?
Who?
Stipe Miocic? But I'll give him credit. He's the only guy that no matter how much he gets fucked up, he looks exactly the same before and after the fight.
Yeah.
Because he always looks fucked up in the face.
That's what Cleveland does to you. It just fucks you up, dude.
Yeah. If you had to describe his look, it'd be one word. Cleveland.
That's true. You got one championship in 100 years. There you go.
There you go. And then, and the only reason you got him is because you were so lucky that one player was born 10 miles from town.
Dude, back in the 90s, it was the late 80s, early 90s, they had such a good team, but then Michael Jordan just had to be around. He just cucked him out of it for a bit, and then they have a
Now we've got a tough one. We've gone through, men's flyweight, who we got? Oh, Henry Cejudo, we told.
Yeah.
It's here we go. We'll start with the women's division. And we'll start women's lightweight outside of the UFC.
Oh, God, I don't even...
Kayla Harrison, that's the only one to know.
I was going to give Gaddy...
no, she's she's limited light heavyweight.
She's a monster, but she's cute. We have to go UFC.
UFC women's featherweight. So you basically have a choice between Cyborg, Amanda Nunes. I mean, the answer is obvious.
It's
We've already talked about it before.
Yeah, I know. Just say it.
Megan Anderson.
Yeah, okay.
She's not one.
I'm probably going to put her down one more spot as well. It sucks because it feels like I'm thirsty for it, but...
she's featherweight. Now, women's bantamweight. This is where it might get a little bit tricky. And only the current of the women's bantamweight division. I've got a winner. Do you have an idea of who you're going to take in your head right now?
Really? I was thinking about that, but I decided to go with the... Oh, God damn it. Hold on.
Now, I know who... Now, the person I showed you is not who I'm choosing.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking about, though.
I'm thinking about taking an alpha. You know what I mean?
Oh, fuck it. Okay, we're real cool with Alpha Cats. She is the alpha in the 135 division. She's
now the next
super pretty.
Yeah.
And she's a good fighter, and she deserves where she's at.
And Betchko Hay is very underrated. She's the up and comer.
The ass is underrated. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Her
ass is a champ.
Yes. I'll give her 3 divisions on an ass.
Exactly. That is a heavyweight ass. Women's flyweight division.
I don't know who's in that. I'm going to say... Wait.
Well, you've got Priscilla Cachoeira, Valentina Shevchenko. You can arguably say Joanna Jessica Caitlin Chikagian.
Her sister... But Shevchenko's sister's in it, though, right?
Yep, Antonina Shevchenko.
I'm probably going to go with that because she's... Fighter-wise, if I had to say, like, hey, I want to, like... a good-looking fighter, it's going to be Valentina Shevchenko because she's obviously a better fighter than her sister, but her sister's a little bit better looking than her. Not because of anything crazy, but I just like dark hair in women, and Valentina's just got blonde hair. No matter what, either one of those are my picks, and they're both great fighters. But they're still not Kat Zingano. God damn it, Kat Zingano.
I'm still saying Jessica Elias, and that is mine.
Jessica I?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jessica is like I love watching. Was she the girl that busted the girl's ear? Was it that fight?
Yes, she busted who was the one that got kicked out because she was trying to unionize?
I can't remember.
She was the 10 ranked bantamweight.
Yeah. But I remember watching that fight. I'm like, God,
Who also, I'm pretty sure she fought at 140 against Cyborg and lost.
When was the last time Jessica even fought? I can't even remember.
She beat Jessica Chikagin like in the fall.
Really?
And she used to train with Stipe's team, and now she's moved somewhere else.
Probably should.
Which I only know because I follow her on Twitter.
Some bitch ain't getting fights.
Yeah. But she called the title fight, and she got it. She legit got it. Now, women's strawweight division.
I mean, is there really any consideration other than Rose, or not Rose, but Paige Van Zandt?
Michelle Watterson.
Truthfully,
I've got one.
Truthfully, I am on you with Michelle Watterson other than Paige.
All right, let's do this. We're going to set Michelle Watterson and Paige Van Zandt to the side and Thug Rose to the side, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3 and name whoever we're going to name.
Give me a second to think of one.
Yeah. So you do that because
I know what mine's going to be.
All right. Well, then we'll go 1, 2, 3, name it, and we'll see if we say the same one. Ready?
We definitely will.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
You're
Cynthia Calvillo. Cynthia Calvillo, yeah.
I see. I forgot all about her even being there.
Yeah.
Like, do 115 stacked.
Yes.
Like it's stacked. It sucks that we're sitting.
Tatiana Suarez.
It sucks that we're sitting here talking about like the hot chicks. That's fine, but
but we did it after going through 10 rounds of men.
Yeah. So we're gonna give you. Yeah, we're gonna give you shit. We talked about fucking dudes.
We went through 8 rounds of men that we fuck.
And then we did bring in fighting styles. Like the only reason I only like certain people is because they fought this way. And I completely forgot about Cynthia Calvillo. She got busted for that pot, and then she's only had
like 10 months off.
Yeah, she only had one fight since then.
No, she's had like 2.
Has she?
Yeah, because she just.
Didn't we see her when we went to Buffalo? Wasn't she in that?
You know, the interesting thing about Buffalo is that was UFC 210, Cormier versus Johnson 2 that they were talking about.
Yeah.
And she won against Pearl Gonzalez.
Was that the girl?
Submitted her with a necklace choke.
Was that the girl?
Rear naked choke.
Was it the fake tit girl?
Yes, the one that they almost didn't fight because she had tits.
Oh,
which was so stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, if she gets punched, they might explode. It's like, well, you know what else also happens when you get punched? Your nose might break and blood comes gushing out.
To me, my favorite woman fighter is Joanna and Jacek. As long as she still fights at 115, I'm still rooting for her for hottest whatever. Just because she is so skilled. I know she's been murked once and then beat.
Yeah, she's had
the second
2
time.
fights since she came back. She tested positive for marijuana after the December 30th, 2017 fight at UFC 219, where she lost to Carla Esparza. Then she beat Poliana Botello at Fight Night Magny versus Ponzinibbio. Then she fought and beat Courtney Casey at Ngannou v. Velasquez this February. So she would be, I mean, if it's just like number 1 overall, it's probably Paige Van Zandt, tied with Thug Rose.
I mean, truthfully, yeah. But the
one I want to leave the bar with, Cynthia Calvillo. I'd marry her.
If I have to pick a girl to leave the bar with tonight, we didn't even talk about it. We didn't even talk about her. Mackenzie fucking Dern. She's a beast.
Yeah, but we don't know what weight class she's in.
It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. She's pregnant. She's having a baby.
She's in the 123-pound weight.
Yeah, she's in the 150 to 15. We don't know. She's somewhere.
She's in that thick
but
weight
yeah,
class.
Mackenzie Dern's my girl.
Mackenzie Dern's my
yeah, that's okay. Anyway,
Zhang.
I'm sleeping with Mackenzie Dern. I'm fucking Luke Rockhold tonight. Those are my people.
And I'm marry.
So, I'm going to marry
Daniel Cormier.
Daniel fucking Cormier because he's so fucking wholesome, sort of. And then he's good. Yeah, there we go. I'm good.
Yeah, good family man, good announcer, travels a lot. excellent, smart
No,
coaches.
I'm going to marry fucking Dominic Cruz because he seems standoffish. So I can just like go into another room and he doesn't talk to me for a while, and we don't care about each other.
True. I could see that.
I like to be like alone a lot, and I feel like Daniel Cormier would kind of like want to snuggle me. I'm like, motherfucker, just get off me. And Dominic Cruz would like just go off and just think. He would just think about fighting all the time. I'm like, hey, what's up?
But he won't ever really fight, though.
What's up? Yeah, because he's
once every 4 years.
Yeah, he's got like a cast or something. Like, what's up, Dom? And he's like, well, I was thinking about I could do this, but my legs broke. So, well, come and show me. And then we could just do that, and then I could go back. And that's how that relationship works. So yeah, it's Dominic Cruz.
Yeah, I'd marry Ben Askren. Fun.
See that? I almost want to change now because he's way more fun.
All right, I'll divorce Ben. You can have him. I'll take Tyron Woodley, even though I'll walk in one day and see him sleeping with each other, and then I'll have to shoot Ben Askren in the head because they're friends.
Do you
just like Jim and Pam were friends?
I'm sure 100% that this has happened before. Like,
yeah, they've slept together.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Wonder if there's ever been an MMA podcast, like anybody in MMA talk about, like, they've all talked about what type of girls they think is cute, and then they talk about what boys they think is cute first, and then afterwards, after the girls, they didn't start talking about what kind of boys they want to marry. I mean,
it's a little trick I learned from Dan Lipthart show.
It's funny. Yeah. Like it's completely funny. If you don't find it funny, then you probably shouldn't ever listen to us. Yeah. Because that's just sort of the way it works. We can say this and we can say that, and then it doesn't really matter.
That's
that's sort of the thing. Anyway, did we ever get back to this? Jessica.
Yeah, we already said Thug Rose is going to win.
I think Thug Rose is going to win 5 rounds to nothing. I don't think she'll be able to finish her. Actually, I'm going to say 4-1. I think Andrade will get 1 round. Mm-hmm. I do want Andrade to win.
I want Thug Rose to win. I'll be willing to put some bet on it.
That's fine, Pat Barry.
Nice crisp high five.
You're good, Pat.
Nice crisp high five on the bet. We just bet we're gambling on air. By the way, if you want to gamble, go to bovada.ru.
So where you can get all your gambling.
Yeah. It may not be the address, but it's like, just Google it. You'll find it. If you wanna find the seedy places on the internet to gamble, you can find it. There's about nothing you can't find.
Yeah, stop being stupid and understand the internet. If you're listening to a podcast, you should understand the internet. If you don't, stop being stupid and just Google how to Google.
So we disagree on the main event. We think Cannoneer is going to win. Thiago Alves wins because he looks like he's the Brazilian Artem Lobov in the picture on UFC.com. And then Diego Ferreira and Jose Aldo. We think that's what we picked for the cards.
Yep.
And that BJ Penn will never win.
I wanted the other guy to win against Jose, but I think Jose's going to win. It's only just to push MMA into a younger demographic, just so I can hope that we can whatever.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. That's the only thing. But we're pretty close on most of this.
Yeah, I think that will be able to conclude the UFC 237 preview and the UFC divisions fuckathon of the Full Mount podcast.
So what are we going to do after the podcast?
After the podcast, join us on Saturday evening for a UFC 237 post-fight special where we tell you, do we still want to fuck Rockhold, or are we going to go home to Ben Askren, who I call Daddy?
I was thinking maybe,
ladies and gentlemen,
calling Cannoneer's bed, but we're all good.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been Sean Bleep and Brandon Music here on the show for you. All I can say is we're out of time.